Okay, we're moving forward. We are going to do our straight eighth notes. Let me get the metronome back on here. We're at 80 beats per minute. So now, basically, you're strumming through for the downs and on the way back up. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Let me reach over here and grab something here. Sorry about that, everybody. You've seen me use this before, but this is it's called a gyro. It's a rhythm fish. Usually it's a fish, but here it's also doubles as a wood block, but notice it's the same idea. This is just straight downbeats. Here's my straight eighth notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Now just upbeats. Downbeats. Back to straight eighths. 1 and 2. Again, notice how even and physically symmetrical I'm trying to do this. Think about a drummer. You know, every time they hit a drum, it's not. Some of you have heard me say this before, but what determines how good a drummer isn't by the hit of the drumstick on the drum head. It's the timing. It's making sure you hit that drum head at the same time. And if you watch the better drummers, they're very physically precise back behind the kit. I mean, they have everything measured out. There's no wasted motion. Everything's very economical. Same thing down here with our right hands. As I make this transition over here, let me get this guy back on. Oh, sorry about that. Let me get him turned back on. My bad. And notice how it's very similar. I think this is a good thing to do to be sure, because you're really mimicking what this thing is, just a rhythm instrument. Mute your strings up in your left hand, you know, and to get that mute, you barely just want to touch them. And in order to get that sound, I'm really digging in with my thumb and my first finger. So now let's do some straight eighth notes, just clicking basically like we're part of the rhythm section. Here we go. Our count in. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Look at everything I'm doing in my right hand here. Is not a lot of elbow motion, because all of a sudden I have to do a lot more smaller motion strums. The more motion I have, the harder it's going to be, especially as we start speeding up. This is where that rotation really comes into play. Let me spin this way. Watch that right hand back there. And I would say I'm probably, as far as my strum length, I'm maybe an inch off of up top this way, down to an inch off the bottom of the neck this way. Things to keep note of: don't go too short. If you don't get through the strings, it's easy to get caught up in them. Notice how, as I'm doing my clicks here, it basically just sounds like one rhythmic sound, or one click of the metronome. It doesn't sound, we're not hearing that cascading click. It's 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and let's do one more series of eighth notes just clicking. Here we go. Count it in with me. 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and. Just downbeats. 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and. Upbeats. Both. Trying to be very machine-like, very robotic. Down. Both. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and upbeats. 1 and 2 and. Notice how deliberate my hand is. My right hand is going, strumming down for the downbeat, and I'm not going through the strings, but my hand thinks it is. It's a strong beat. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. All right, so some good eighth note discussion as we're getting into really the nitty-gritty of what makes these strumming patterns happen. So make sure you can do that downbeat, eighth notes downbeat, eighth notes upbeat, eighth notes down and upbeat, and you know that where the downbeat is, where the upbeat is as well.